just live in this world of like romance and fashion, fantasy, and vintage, like 80s and 70s, and just obsessed with all of that.
I love that you have like this. You have this sense of nostalgia about the music, but it doesn't feel old. Hi, I'm Jon ALi, and today I'm very excited to have Mr. Kelechi here with us, singer-songwriter, LA-based talent, style superstar, Calvin Klein ad model. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm like super happy to be back in LA.
Welcome to
the
our
sun
little
is
town.
shining and it's warm. I can see my tits out.
Yes.
That's great.
Shake them all over.
But how's your last few months been? Like, how's she feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really good. The last few months have been great. I just came off of an opportunity with Vincent.
That's right.
I opened for him at the Troubadour.
For his EP release,
For his
right?
EP release. Shout out to Vincent.
Yeah, we love it.
With my good girlfriend Vincent.
Yeah.
No, it was exhilarating. He sold out the show. It was incredible, and being able to perform in front of that large crowd with this new music that I have. It's mind blowing. So
is this something that do you feel comfortable on stage?
No, not I do not, and I think that show really helped me kind of get into the mode again. Because I haven't performed like that in maybe 5 years.
Oh wow!
And so I had a really traumatic experience on stage that made me almost like quit music entirely, And I think it gave me a chance to figure out what my sound really was, because at the time I was singing like R&B and all this other stuff, and I realized like pop music is where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of people like me, who looked like me, who did pop music, and so coming into that world, it was easier for me to write. It was easier for me to work with my producer, and it was easier for me to just create again.
Yeah, and Vincent is like one of those people who's like if anything, like kind of like really leading the pack, and like there's also there's not a lot of people who look like Vincent who are doing the things he does, and I think you guys make a nice perfect match. So I bet that was like a really, really fun show.
It was a great show, and he's just a good person.
I know, he's such a sweetheart.
Just always there to give really good advice. I think so. 2 days before the show, he and I sat down for lunch, and I was like, "Girl, I don't know if I can do this." And he really kind of walked me off of the ledge.
Yeah, like snapped you out of it.
He's like, "Look, it's gonna be fine. Everyone's there. They're all kind." And once I got past that, I got into the performance. I usually take out my contacts so I can't see anybody. That's kind of like my coping mechanism.
Okay.
But I didn't do that this time. I wanted to see if I could
You were present.
actually do it. And it ended up being great. So I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah. How long of a set did you have?
I just did 3 songs, but I did Forever Tonight.
Okay.
And then I did 2 songs.
2 brand new ones.
2 brand new ones that are coming out in the next couple months. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's exciting. We're gonna get back to that.
Yeah.
But first, I want to talk a little bit about where you grew up.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit of your family stuff.
Sure. So I am from Orangeburg, South Carolina.
Okay.
I know, right?
I couldn't tell.
Born and raised, Orangeburg, South Carolina. It's a small town. In South Carolina, but my parents are from Nigeria.
Okay.
They came over here in the 70s for school and decided that South Carolina is where they wanted to land for some reason after living in LA and Wisconsin, South Carolina. But you know what? I lived and loved it.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was lovely. I didn't have any nightmare experiences.
Wow.
Orangeburg is, I want to say it's like predominantly African American.
Okay.
But there's a really big like Nigerian, or I would say like a quaint Nigerian community there because it's a college town.
Okay.
There are 2 HBCUs that are there, Claflin University and South Carolina State University. So a lot of professors were from Nigeria. So I grew up in this world with like a really in-depth Nigerian culture.
Okay.
And at the same time, like going to school with my white, black, and Indian friends primarily. White, black, and Indian, white, black, and Asian, I guess. but they were actually Indian, so I guess that makes whatever.
Yeah,
but
you had like a nice.
I had like a nice like set of like friends, and it didn't seem like the typical South. I mean, everything else was. We had a Piggly Wiggly and a Bilo and all this, Queen Dixie and all of that stuff. But the city itself, like it just, I don't know, it was like the Spice Girls. Like everybody was different.
Yeah, I like that.
And we all embraced each other's differences, and you were cool if you sang, and you were cool if you were in the orchestra or the band, and you were cool if you were in theater. It wasn't one of those like places where you're like
you felt like weird trying to do things like that.
Like you were celebrated if you were in the arts, and I think that was one thing that now that I look back on my time, like I wasn't bullied for any of that stuff. Wasn't really bullied, to be honest with you. And
that's nice to hear.
Yeah, and I find that's refreshing because people have this idea of what the South is, and yes, there's rampant homophobia. Yes, there's blatant racism. Let's call a thing a thing.
Yeah.
But the experiences that I had,
mostly positive.
I feel like I was shielded from a lot of it, also because of the friend group that I had.
Yeah.
Too. We were just also different, and we were in the arts, and because we were on the arts, we were exposed to so many different people and experiences and experiences and things and situations, and it kind of just made for well-rounded
and like an easy, nice time.
Yeah.
Do you still keep in touch with a lot of them?
Some of them.
Yeah.
I have the same best friend since the 5th grade.
Oh, that's amazing.
We literally talk every single day.
Okay,
She lives in North Carolina. She's a real estate mogul.
Oh, work.
Out there. But yeah, same best friend for 20 years? 20
wow.
Years? Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, going to school and meeting friends early on, things are bound to change, but it's amazing that you're able to keep someone so close to you for so long.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep have a friendship that long. That's basically a marriage.
Basically.
But no, like that sounds nice. You had the friend group to like kind of like let yourself embrace everything that you felt like you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And was it the same at home with like mom and dad?
It was. I'll say this: being a child of Nigerian immigrants, there's going to be issues when it comes to how you emote socially and how you express yourself.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with, their upbringing, and it has a lot to do with kind of Nigerian culture.
Yeah.
Which is centered around.
It's all they know.
Well, Eastern Nigerian culture. Our family is Igbo, so it's centered around like Christianity, and it's like not even centered. It's like grounded in Jesus.
Yeah.
And that coupled with the fact that I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, which is like a very kind of orthodox Christian belief system. We went to school, we went to church on Saturday. We take the Bible literally. So like in the Bible, it says the evening and the morning were the first day, and so look at the days as if it was like night and day instead of day and night, and so sundown to sunup is the Sabbath, right? And so that, you would think that would be very constrictive.
Yes.
Constricting.
I mean, just the way you describe it
sounds
constricting.
So I grew up but at the same time, I would say that my parents were, I guess I think about it now, like if I were, so I was my parents' age, well, I'm now my parents' age when they had kids.
You, yeah.
And they lived, that's a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
And when you have children and you have the ways that you think, and then your children grow and become small people, like
their own
small people.
Yeah.
And you change or you shift the ways that you think about
Yeah, you have no choice.
Things. And so I will say that my parents love me and adore me.
That's
and
amazing.
I know that. And they tell me that every day. And so regardless of like what ever happened in the past or how they reacted towards just who I was, who I am before, now that they have a different disposition. And also Nigerian culture, we really treasure our elders, and so I really try to understand like the thought process of where they were coming from,
and also like just what all they knew, like just as the way
exactly.
they grew up.
Exactly, and being like in America with no family, no friends essentially, and trying to just create the American dream on their own, but super duper into the arts.
Yeah.
I grew up, so I started playing the saxophone, and my mom was like, "You cannot." She was like, it was like when I was 9, and so when I got to middle school, I chose the cello, and I'm a classical trained cellist. So
amazing.
I play it even now.
Whoa.
And so that's how I got into music.
Okay.
By playing the cello, and so in my music, I write my music starting off with a bass line because of how I just like learned how you got into music. Yeah. And that translates itself through kind of a lot of the ways that I'll write.
Yeah.
So I started in cello and then started singing in church, and I had this really weird fear.
Okay.
So I would practice. This is what I was doing. I would like practice and sing. I would practice and practice and practice. And this is if ever I was singing like by myself. I would practice and I'd know the song front and back. And then when it was time for me to sing, I'd get on stage and I would cry. I would just start crying.
God.
And it was so unnerving because I distinctively remember in my head that I was saying, why are you crying?
Yeah,
and I wasn't sad,
what this is.
but it was nerves, and I had that forever. And this was usually when I was like just singing by myself. But the way that it stopped, this is a very strange story. The way that it stopped, I was singing at a funeral, at my church.
Okay.
I think it was like 13 or 14. But I was singing at a funeral, and I remembered like looking around, and I was singing with the choir. I remember looking around, and everyone was crying, and I didn't really know the lady who passed away. Oh. And so I was like, why is everyone crying? And it came time for me to sing like my solo, and in my mind I was still like, what is going on?
Everyone else was doing the crying.
And I was like, let me just sing this, and I sang it, and I like cried in a way that it was like scary to me to sing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do get emotional when singing songs, but that's because of the song. But I haven't had that moment again since then.
That's so interesting.
I know. Strangest thing.
Yeah, so there was like some sort of energy and presence on that day.
Whatever it was, thank you so much.
Yeah, because that's so interesting.
Yeah.
But it's actually honestly like beautifully tragic in a weird way.
Yeah.
But no, then I mean, what led you to LA then? I mean, you went to school? Did you went to school?
No, so I went to school at Morehouse in Atlanta.
Okay.
I graduated. I have a degree in international studies. Concentration in finance and French.
She's educated.
She is. I went to DC and I worked in the Senate for the senator who replaced Barack Obama.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yes.
No one would. How anyone ever know that?
I know. And after living in DC for 2 years, working in politics, I moved to New York, and I was an assistant buyer at Macy's, and then for Gucci. Okay. And then that Gucci job did not work out.
Well, out of everything that you just said, that one felt the most random.
Yeah. And then, so after, and I would go between Milan and Florence. This is right before Instagram was popping.
Yeah.
And Instagram had just come out, and I always think to myself, if I would have figured that shit out
early on,
girl,
things would have been so different.
A gay black boy in Milan, okay, that would have been over. We didn't know. We didn't know. But we make a way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I made my way to LA after the last snowstorm that I was in New York. I slipped down a flight of stairs. I lived in Harlem. I slipped down a flight of stairs, and once I got to the bottom.
Wait, what year was this?
This was 2011. This is November 2011.
Okay.
It's November. Slipped down a flight of stairs, people stepped over me, and I was like at the bottom trying to collect myself, and I was like, you know what, girl?
That sounds like New York.
I was like, this is not it.
They're like, oh, someone fell. Okay.
And I visited LA that February of that year, and just loved it. So
Yeah.
I flew out here December 31st, 2011, landed at 12 noon, and then rang in the new year.
Oh,
resident
wow.
of LA.
And you've been here ever
And
since?
I've been here ever since.
Wow. And what were you doing when you first got here?
I was sleeping on a floor with my friends from college. Sleeping on this floor for like 3 months, and then then I saw an ad on. Stupid. So I already loving it. I saw an ad on Craigslist that was like, this is really dumb. So don't do this. I saw an ad on Craigslist and it was like, do you want to be signed by a label? Come audition for this band and blah blah blah. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And we already have executives looking at it. Like, that was what the ad said. And I was like, okay. So I go to this audition, and come to find out it's an audition for a group to audition for a TV show.
Okay.
Right, exactly. That look that you're giving me right now is the look that I had on my face when I got there. So, by the way, my face looks very puzzled and confused. But I was like, well, I'm here now. I'm all the way in North Hollywood, and I'd come from Koreatown, so I'm not about to just go home.
Yeah.
So I auditioned. I made it, obviously.
Yes.
And that group became the boy band that I was in called Ctzen.
Ctzen. Okay.
Super fast forward. We went on the show. It showed that
what was the show called?
X Factor.
Oh!
Yeah, that one. So we were on the same season as Normani and...
No way!
Literally remember,
wait, do posts of this exist?
It does. But it's awful. It's an awful...
It doesn't exist, it doesn't exist.
It's an awful experience.
Got it.
It was because it was more of a... I'm sure everyone at Fremantle Media is lovely, but you could tell that they were trying to push a narrative. It was a TV show.
No, yeah, they want the backstory. They want to make people want to care in really weird ways.
Or they want to make fun of you. And for us, they while we were getting ready in the bathroom, they played It's Raining Men. It was slightly homophobic, to be honest with you.
That doesn't sound not wrong.
Right?
I've heard some horror stories about it.
Yeah, it was weird. And then, they tried to make group members look like assholes to other group members, i.e. me, look like a mean person to one of the other group members.
Producers working their magic.
And I'm I just told him to put his collar down. He looked crazy. You guys told him to put it up. No. And then we get out there. This is when Brittany, Demi...
Oh my god, that is right.
This is that season.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
because that's when they first tried it and bring it here.
Yeah. Auditioned for them, and we made it through, but not without them making me look like an asshole to Simon Cowell. Again,
Yeah.
And I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
I like to tell myself that.
Yeah.
No, but I'm it was a show.
Yeah.
And full story, I think I can tell it now, but at Fox.
Okay.
A few months before all of this, and so we made it to the next round, and I got a call before the day that we were supposed to leave for Miami, which is the next round, that I couldn't go, but the rest of the group could. And mind you, I had been upfront about it. They were like, it's no problem, blah blah blah, and then they did that shit. And then while they were in Miami, they never even showed the group getting kicked off because it was just it was weird at that point. But then we ended up getting signed to Primary Violator, Primary Wave Management. It's a big management company. We were recording, and we have a song that's on Spotify. It's called Immortal. Ctzen, Ctzen. It's actually a really good pop song. But all good things come to an end. I did make one of my very closest friends out
through there.
Calvin. He goes by Larry David on Insta.
Oh wait.
Yeah, the comedian.
Oh my god, wait, yeah, I know
He's
that.
such a good song. He's such a good songwriter.
No, yeah, I've
He's
featured
such a good singer.
his songs before on
Yeah,
the playlist.
yeah.
He's fantastic.
He's so good, right?
Yeah.
So I think the whole experience for like helping me meet him. He's just such a good person. He's one of my good girlfriends now.
Yeah.
And we went through kind of the same thing together because like being the gays in the group, we were told this is at a time where there was no Troye Sivan. There was no like
there was
Sam Smith, like barely, right?
Like they were like, how can we disguise this?
Not even how can we disguise this. We were explicitly told if you come out or you say that you're gay, this will ruin your career. We were told this by certain people, and you know it could have been right. Right? Yeah. I can't say that it's not, but we found ourselves through that situation. And so I was glad to go through that. With
you could say that you went through with someone that's an intense experience to go through, and you had someone to go there at least with.
Yeah. And then I started like recording on my own.
Yeah.
I did a Kickstarter, raised a bunch of money, ended up like doing a tour, like a 5-city tour. And then at the end of that, so I like opened for August Alsina at the time. This is the landscape that
I'm like, this is a fucking journey.
I know. Opened for August Alsina, and then opened for Elle Varner. And that was the night that I was booed off stage.
Oh shit.
Like my music was messed up, the people were drunk, whatever, and I was booed off stage, and I was like, I will never sing again. And cut to 5 years later, Forever Tonight's doing super well. And I think I just needed to find my voice, and at the time I was singing R&B, and it just didn't feel authentic, even though like the music was great. To me, it was lovely. It just wasn't me, and I wasn't singing about things that were me.
Like about you, about personal to you.
Or just about like things that I gave a fuck about. Like one of my songs that I'm sorry, I swore, but one of my songs, the new one is called Georgina, and it's about a prostitute, right? Like, but I care about it because when I first got here, I met a prostitute on the street. She propositioned me. I was like, "Girl, I don't want that, but tell me a story, girl."
Yeah.
And she was the nicest person, and I wrote a little song about her.
Oh,
you know, so I couldn't have seen myself doing that. Like 5 years.
5 years ago, yeah.
Right? You know,
you're in a place now where like just this story that you just laid out for us.
Yeah.
You've gone through so much like ups and downs, failures, some successes, and you've been let down. Yeah. You've been upset. You've been wanting to quit, but through all of that, you haven't. You're still here. You're doing it, and it sounds like you wouldn't be able to have gotten to this place that you're at right now if you hadn't gone through all that.
Right. I think that adversity does mold people into who they figure out they need to be.
Yeah.
It has certainly molded me. And I second guess myself all the time.
Yeah, no, that's normal.
I still do that, but I am less quick to second guess my music now.
Got it.
Than, okay, how do I get it out there?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that is strategy, and I kind of learned marketing strategy because of the downs that I had with being in that group. Like we had to figure out how to do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
A lot of people weren't really helping us, and so we just had to figure that shit out. And we were discussing this offline earlier, but I'm trying to open myself up to be more accessible to people. And talk. And
you have a beautiful story, and people should hear it. It's inspiring. The amount of things you had to get to just to get to where you are now hasn't been easy.
No.
But here you are.
Right.
You're still doing it.
Still here.
Yeah.
And excited. Like super excited. I'm so sorry, these pants are so warm.
Oh my God.
They're so warm. There's a lining.
They're so cute though.
Thank you so much. Urban Outfitters. Oh my God, yeah, they're on fire, but
you feel good.
I'm excited. I'm excited about things.
No, and honestly, I mean, you could hear it in the songs. I mean, I learned about you a little bit. I feel like a little bit later, just through like mutual friends mentioning that you. Actually, Andrew is the first person who played me your song.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love this vibe. It feels very fitting, just with like the way you present yourself, your style, and everything. I was like, this makes sense to the product. Like the music makes sense to this. Like it works together. And that's something I always gravitate towards. Like if everything looks like it's a fully realized package, I'm like, my eyes are immediately drawn to it. And I'm like, I need to know more about this.
There's a lot more.
Yeah, I'm excited. No, because I mean, right now you have 2 songs out. You have Forever
Tonight,
and
Higher.
Yeah.
Higher just got put on a Spotify playlist.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like 2 days ago. The Pisces playlist.
Oh, word!
So, thank you
Spotify.
Thank you to everyone
Get those streams.
who made that possible. Please stream Higher. And the video's coming out soon.
Amazing.
I waited to put out the video because I really wanted to do something interesting with the edit.
Yeah.
So the edit's gonna be super cute.
Okay.
So excited about that.
Yeah.
I just live in this world of like romance and fashion, and fantasy, and and vintage, like 80s and 70s. I'm just obsessed with all of that.
I love that you have like this. You have this sense of nostalgia about the music, but it doesn't feel old.
Yeah. Oh, good.
It's a little bit. It's kind of like what Dua Lipa's calling her new album, "Future Nostalgia." It's like very that.
It is very that.
But like it's very. It's
the girls have been working very hard.
But no,
I love it.
Yeah, but it's great, and I think it's gonna benefit you because the more people get to hear it, and the more people that it gets to, because the people love to be reminded of something, but also feel like it's like fresh and new, and you're totally doing that.
It's so funny because I will get people who will message me and say, "Oh my God, this sounds like," or "I love the sample that you use," and I'm like, I didn't use. There's no sample. I'm strict. I go by the strict rules of chord progressions. I completely understand, having to pay someone for something, and I'm not going to do that because I don't have any money to do that.
Yeah.
Or royalties to give away. So it's just very interesting to hear people hear some of the influences in music, because that means I've done my job. And I grew up listening to Donna Summer, and I grew up listening to Tears for Fears, and I grew up listening to Michael Jackson. I know, problematic. But like I grew up in this era of pop music that made people move.
Yes.
Right? And pop music that made people feel.
And it was joyful.
It was joyful. And people just feel like as soon as the beat drops, you feel something with it. Like it connects to an emotional place. Yeah. I grew up with that music. And I realized after doing R&B and there was like grooves and stuff like that, I was like, well, what do I want to, like what do I want to say?
Yeah.
What music do I want to make? And I like talking about life. And if it's not, like Forever Tonight was about a first date that felt like forever.
Yeah.
And wanted to end tonight. Like it's literally that. I'm not very.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Perfect. Not very esoteric when it comes to these topics. Or like Higher is about just like the feeling that you get when you fall in love.
I love that song.
But and that. I love disco, and I was like, well, what would a disco song sound like today? Like 1978, if I was in the middle of Studio 54, well, 2078, Studio 54. What would that song sound like? And it just seemed right. And like I told you about Georgina, it's about a lady of the night who I met on Sunset Boulevard. I have a song coming out called Just a Friend, and it's literally about someone, like you getting like involved with someone in your head, but they say you're just a friend, right? It's literally what the song is about. And I know that we all feel these things. And I know that there are so many people out there who like want to emote and they want to feel, and music is not just about like
it's not strictly for dancing.
Strictly for dancing. It's about like feeling.
Yes,
feeling the music.
exactly. So letting yourself go through emotions, being able to relate to someone, being able to hear yourself in a song, even though it's not you. You know, that's what it's all about. Music is like that. It's like the endless language.
Yeah.
It's my favorite language. But that's exciting. I mean, I'm more curious as to how you even is the same person producing these songs with you?
Yes. So my producer, his name is Zach, and
let's talk about Zach, because Zach is doing the damn thing with you.
So okay. So, so Zach. So I think, like, if you're an aspiring musician out there, I think one of the most important things that I learned was finding his name is Zach Sorgen, by the way. It's finding a producer who will listen to you.
Yes.
Okay? Because there are producers out there who are great at what they do.
Talented, can do everything.
Talented girls, lovely gowns, right?
Lovely gowns.
Lovely gowns. Cute dress. But they don't listen to what you say. And so you come in there and you say, okay, well, I want this song to sound like a cross between the Pointer Sisters and Bob Dylan. And they will make a song that sounds like, I don't know, Whitney Houston. Not bad on either side, but that's not what I want. It's not who I am.
Yeah.
Right? And working with Zach, it's probably been the easiest thing ever. And he's a good musician too. Like, work with a producer who's not just a beat person. For me, because I'm so grounded in the music of music. The music of music, you know. the foundation, the notes.
Yes.
All of those things that I cannot speak about right now. I think working with a producer who knows music is also
what's important.
Extremely important. And someone who isn't afraid to push the boundary with you. And
try new things, experiment.
And Zach Sorgen is one of those people who I came in and I was like, I want this song to sound like this, and I want it to have bells on it, and whistles, and a bow, and I need some claps, and I need the gays to be able to dance, and I need the straights to be able to dance, I need everyone in between to be able to dance, and
he gets it.
He gets it, and he gets me, and so I'm much appreciative.
Oh, that's amazing.
With that.
That's like always like the one thing I'm like always so curious about with just like artists in general, just because how do you rely that message to someone who is on the technical side of it, like this is how I want things to sound, and then if they're able to get it and they understand exactly what you're saying, and then it's like this magic of like brain minds colliding.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's what you want to find.
Working with people who get you, I think, really. So like Calvin helped me. He wrote a little piece of Forever Tonight. Zach and I essentially, like, we have 8 songs we wrote in a 3-month span. And this is, mind you, I'm like working full time, doing all that, right? But also like leaving work and going to the studio, recording and writing and all this other stuff. And we wrote and produced all these things by ourselves.
Wow.
Literally. And I just worked on a song with Jesse St. John.
Oh, amazing. Love Jesse.
We wrote the Just a Friend song. We wrote that song in 20 minutes.
Wow.
Which was that was a really exciting experience too, because there was no music or anything like that. I couldn't figure out how to turn my roommate's electric piano on. It was on. I just didn't. I'm not good with electronics and things. But so Jesse was like, "So what are we gonna do?" And I was like, "Well, let me download this piano app." And I played 3 notes, and we built an entire song.
No way.
And I performed it at the Troubadour, and people didn't like it. So
whoa.
Yeah. So
that's a magical experience.
I know. It was so cool. And he was like, "Yeah, I gotta go meet my mom for lunch. So same time next week." I was like, "Girl, we just wrote a song. Like,
it's not
seriously."
He can write a song like every day.
So fucking talented. Like, there's no way to. I was sitting there like
dumbfounded.
Wait, that's it. Like, that's the song. You know, and it was such a collaborative effort.
It's so effortless for him.
And so I'm trying to put myself in positions like that
Mm-hmm.
where I'm actually collaborating with people and working with people. Mike Taylor also performed at the show.
Okay.
At the Vincent show. Incredible
Really?
artist. And we're talking about like working together. I have like dream collaborations I want to like do. So
it sounds like you're already doing what you were saying you wanted to do.
I'm working towards it.
Yeah.
That Nigerian resilience. that Evo strength.
But no, that's good. You are throwing it out there into the existence, and you're already making it happen.
Yes, book me.
So we have higher videos to look forward to.
Yeah, we have Higher to look forward to. We have Georgina video and song. We have Just a Friend video and song.
Wow.
And then I'm hoping to have a good little mini project out by the summer.
Okay.
I like summer music for some
Yeah,
reason.
no, and that's what we want.
You know, you let your weight down.
Pride time.
Exactly. Okay.
A book. Hello.
The Apple stage, Spotify stage, whatever stage,
Yeah.
New York,
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
Your girl is here.
Yeah. Pride, we're ready.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. I mean, and also that's the other thing I love that you're doing. It's like it's not just putting out the music. You are providing a visual.
Oh.
You came out straight off the bat with it.
So Taylor James directed Forever Tonight.
Yeah. Gorgeous video.
My God.
Gorgeous.
And may I say, I owe literally, and I've talked to him about this, so it's fine. I owe all the apologies to him because I am kind of an insane person. I'm an insane person, and so because of all the trauma that I've had with music up until that point, I didn't believe that I couldn't like put all my trust in someone to say, okay, you take this out of my hands,
Fair,
and you do it. And he was like, no, I got it. I promise you, I got it. And I was like, girl, I don't know. So let me try to micromanage this whole entire situation. And he got to the point where he was like, girl,
you need to step back.
Like he gave me a lovely little talking to after the video was done.
Yeah.
After the video was filmed. And I realized that I was crazy. And we're fine.
Yeah.
But the edit came back and I was like
blown away.
I was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was.
You haven't really done anything to complain about. I mean, it's
no,
the first thing that you
like,
have put out there. Yeah.
Taylor, he did the damn thing. He took the reins on that. It was. I'm like, it was magical. it was really cute.
Did you work with someone? Did you work with someone else for Higher?
No, I directed Higher.
Oh, you directed. Okay.
Yeah, girl. She put on the hat, sat in the chair, and did a little something on that.
That's amazing.
So it's a fashion video. I mean, you've seen like a couple of the clips, like the cowboy stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Shimmering.
Yeah.
Things.
Okay.
Troy Allen provided some of those clothes. I honestly borrowed clothes from everyone.
Hey, if you can do it.
And it ended up being really, really cool. So
that's exciting.
It is being edited right now.
So I'm sure by the time this is out, it'll be out already. So go watch the Higher video on YouTube.
Yeah.
But no, and then you have the videos planned, and you said you've already have videos planned for these next songs?
Yeah, so I'm working on them now, and
Jesus, you are working.
Oh, just might as well, right?
Yeah.
Look, if everyone else can do it, why not me?
No, yeah.
And one thing I do pride myself in is my work ethic.
Yeah.
And I maybe put my head down into the sand too much.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of not in the sand, but like head down and like just blinders on a little too much, and I need to come up for air.
Yeah.
A bit, but I mean,
you're going for it.
I'm trying to be a pop star.
Yeah, you're going for it. You're putting yourself out there. You care a lot about it.
I really do.
And it shows.
Thank you.
And I only see it working out in your favor because of how much work you're putting into it. There's just no way that it can't.
Thank you.
No, yeah, that's exciting. I'm just thrilled for you, and like I'm so glad that I got to learn a little bit more about like how you got to this point because it is exhausting. I'm exhausted for you.
That story is a story. That is one story.
Yeah, like all those things that you went through. Shit, like some people would have given up.
Yeah, but I don't have the luxury of giving up because I had to ask permission to move to LA, by the way, from my parents. And mind you, they're not paying my rent or anything. It's just like Nigerian culture. You ask your parents to do things before you do them. And I remember my dad was like, if you move out to Los Angeles, you better come back with a Grammy.
Oh,
and I was like, okay, well, I have, not that I'm creating music for that, but like, I know what their goals and their dreams are.
Yeah, your dad was like, you're gonna do this, but I want you to be at the highest level.
Well, and that's what they do. Like, if I brought home a 98, they were like, what of the other 2%? Like, why didn't you get a 100? And I'm like, okay, I've lived that way my entire life, so there's no reason that I've gotten to checkpoints where I've been like, oh, this almost worked, and then quit. Like, there's no way at this point, especially with the internet, like, anyone can be a superstar now.
There's literally artists coming out the woodwork every day.
That lady, the deep end.
Oh yeah, the Charlotte girl, yeah.
Like, literally anyone.
On Ellen, viral sensation.
Sensation.
Like, insane. Okay. It can happen to anybody.
It can happen to anyone, and I just figured, look, I'm not dead, so.
Yeah. We're not wasting time.
We're not wasting time on that.
We're going for it. Yeah. Well, everyone, we've heard the story. The music is coming. Y'all need to get it together and get into this superstar right here. Is there anything you want? Where can people find you on Instagram?
I'm on Instagram at It's Kelechi, actually at ITSKELECHI.
Yeah. The music is coming very soon.
Yes. I am on Spotify, Kelechi. So there are 2 Kelechis on Spotify.
Oh yeah.
By the way, one is a rapper, singer from Atlanta, and then there's me. Our pictures are very different.
Okay.
I'm the one with the cowboy.
So you'll be able to figure out.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm the one who looks like a gay in my profile picture.
The soft neon lighting, that's me.
That one. With the cowboy hat and those eyelashes, that would be me. So.
Oh my god, I love it. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to me today.
You've been having me.
Of course.
It's like Oprah.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
Bye, world.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Burning up, got me so